And here we are. Thanks for joining us for office hours today. We have some really good questions that we are going to go through. Again, please drop any questions that you all might have inside of the chat, and we will just go through it. So I'm super excited about some of these questions we have. Some are really good. Some are some funny questions. Of course, we have some of the serious questions around data privacy. That's questions that we received from day one, and we'll go through this. So I'm going to share my screen. This isn't how I typically share, but this is going to get the job done just for now. And here's the first question that we have. And what I did, I put who submitted the question down here because we want to make sure those people are acknowledged. And this question comes from Reggie. Shout out to Reggie. Reggie and I like to make fun of Reggie because he's not make fun of him in like a bullying way, but I know Reggie. Reggie, he's a Kappa. He made a wrong choice in life, and I'm an alpha, and so if you understand fraternities, you get it. But Reggie is a really good dude, a practitioner. He's been in Alabama, he's been in Texas, just a really good dude who cares deeply about the field and the work. So Reggie sent several questions. The first question is AI as detailed as ChatGPT? That's a really good question, and I like that question. And the answer is yes, especially when you can use your natural language to prompt. And this goes for Sophia. It really goes for any AI models. Using your natural language, you can talk to these models and tell it exactly what you want. For those of you who might remember, one of my favorite prompts of all time is go deep. And I really like that prompt because models can give you short responses. It can give you, they're non-deterministic, so it's going to do what it thinks is best. But if you tell it, hey, go deep, if you tell it, give me 2 paragraphs, if you tell it, give me 4 paragraphs, it's going to do that. So using your natural language to tell the level of detail is super important there as well. Another really cool feature that we have in our platform of School Psych AI, and I'm going to drag my screen over here. Inside of our platform, we just ran a prompt. It gave us a response back. But what I want to show is some built-in features that we have. And I'm hovering over what looks like this magic wand button. And then B, when I hover over this and I click it, we have some options that pop up. Text summarizer, simplify, proofread, create a table, some other things. But this one right here, Sophia Enhance, it'll take this output and it will enhance it. And that is a really cool way that we're able to use this technology to go deep and provide a ton of detail. So Reggie, thanks for that question. And Reggie provided several questions and we're going to get through all of them. I'm going to pause to come back to our chat here and see, B, if you have any questions or anyone from our team, if y'all want to add anything else that I might have missed. All right, B says so far so good. All right, next question. Are recommendations and references provided? So to answer this question, we really kind of want to break it up into 2. Does Sophia provide recommendations? Does Sophia provide references? The long and short of this, and we're going to go back to, let's see, a recent example. I think this is a good one here. No, maybe, yep, this one right here. Here's a good example. In this one, I asked Sophia to help me build out a reason for referral section on a report that I was working on. It's fictional. That's why this kid is named Landon Superman. Okay. And he goes to Metropolis Elementary School. I uploaded some context of background information, information during a SST meeting or permission to test meeting. And look at what Sophia returned back. It lists the sources, and then it tells you exactly where it pulled that information from. What I really like about this is that Sophia is telling you exactly where she pulled. Yeah, B says, love that. That's a pretty cool feature, right? And shout out to Ed. Ed is our engineer and CTO, as he said. He's taking the time to build this in. What's so important about this is and you never have to guess where this information is coming from. We're telling you right here, which is just an awesome, awesome use case. I'll pause there. Team, anything you all want to add? Ed, anything you want to add that I might have missed?
No, I mean, you covered it.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. One other note about this is we're actively building this out to make it deeper and better. That is one of our goals this summer, heading into the beginning of the school year, is how can we make this information richer and deeper and even better? So great example here as well. All right. Now, the next question that we have, is AI as detailed as Chat GPT? Okay. Wait, that's a duplicate. We already answered that. Delete. Take two. Next, yo, me and Ed, we were working like right before this, going through a bunch of different things, and then Canva, I copied and pasted and duplicated. So we might see some errors, some typos. B, here's the good news. At least you know a human did it, right? We know AI didn't do it.
I love it. I was actually gonna say I had a question. So on ChatGPT, sometimes when you put information, like let's say you were to put in the reason for referral, let's say you were to put in some parent information, anything else, when you prompt it, you can say like summarize it, but in parentheses, tell me where you're getting the information from, like to kind of follow along with it so that it's not just giving you all this random information. You don't know where it's pulling it from. Would this AI also do the same? Like, I know that it says sources right there on the bottom, but if I were to prompt it to, in parentheses, like be citing as it goes, would it also do that?
Yeah, I would love to hear what Ed has to say about this. For me, I don't, and in the beginning stages, I would tell people don't use AI in that man, especially for things like research. And here's why. These models will make things up. They want to please you and they want to give you something, even if it can't. So even when you're telling, hey, tell me where you got this from, especially with ChatGPT, it's going to give you something. And I'm sure, B, you've heard about those cases of attorneys. There was a recent one that came out of an attorney getting called out by a judge because she didn't go back and verify.
Yeah. I was gonna say not necessarily research, but like let's say you were to give it some concrete information and then you just like for example, let's say you give it like 3 paragraphs of information, like kind of how you had displayed like the reason for referral,
Yep.
and then it's citing where it's getting it from. I think that's kind of what I'm asking.
Yeah, our platform is always going to pull, like in that example that I just gave. Let me go back to it. Well, here's another one that I've been working on and similar. When you upload files for our platform, yep, it's always going to pull
Okay,
from
perfect.
that
Oh,
document and
that's cool.
provide
Okay,
this.
that's different. Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful. And yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess I was also, yeah. I mean, you're kind of going into like questions that I had as well as like obviously like AI for like reports is maybe like it's newer, and I was just like, I guess I just had questions about like ethics, laws, what judges thinks, how to use it appropriately. Obviously, this is like a platform designed specifically for it, etc.
Yeah, that's right. Look, it sounds like you have a list of questions, so let's get to it. One of them was around ethics and data. Let me go through because it might. I mean, here's one. We have a couple. Are these questions kind of along the lines of what you had? If so, we could just keep going through this, or you could just ask your specific question and we'll answer
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say I think I'm happy to listen, and then if there's anything like I'll jump in.
Yeah, please do. Okay, at any point. All right. Did we do this one? We'll move some of these around. Okay. Next question. Am I able to provide the student's name and data and get a full report? This is another question from Reggie. Am I able to provide the student's name and data and get the full report? We're going to jump back into the platform. And in this example, and if you listen closely, in this example, I uploaded, drum roll please. Leslie, that wasn't a good drum roll. That's in my brain, it sounds a lot cooler, but that's how it came out. Sorry. We uploaded the WJ5. And I really need the soundboard. B, in my mind, there's like sound effects with like cheers and applause. We have a partnership with, oh, sorry, y'all. We have a partnership with Riverside Insights. And we have in our platform the WJ5 Achievement, the WJ Cog, and some other things, the Batteria that's going to be coming out. We have some really, really neat things. But today in our platform is the WJ5 Achievement and Cog. I uploaded the score reports, and this is what it gave me. Test purpose and description, a table of all the scores, and then it gave this narrative interpretation. And yes, because our platform has been independently evaluated and is FERPA compliant, we've uploaded just that straight score report. And because of this partnership with Riverside Insights, and it returns all of that information back to us. Yep, B says super cool. But now let's take it, because this is Superman attending Metropolis. So let's make it super, super cool. We're going to hit create document. Karina, Leslie, if y'all could help my executive functioning and admit other people, cool, thank y'all. And now we're back. Y'all see that EF skills? We're going to do a brief so we can show like some shifting things here because I'm using all of those skills. I hit create document. Now B, here's where it gets even more super cool. You can edit that entire response. And you might hear my kid in the back. It's summertime here. It's a full house. I'm editing my report. I can change headers. I can delete things. If I don't want that, I can modify these tables. Leslie, where's Leslie at? We used to be able to color code tables, and then we removed that feature. But guess what? We didn't really remove it. You know why? Because Leslie has been telling Sophia, hey, Sophia, return this in color-coded tables. And me and Aaron was like, you can't do that. Leslie was like, yes, you can. And Leslie's still here working with us. Just doing things we never knew Sophia could do.
If we don't test the bounds, we don't know where they are.
That's a bar. That's really good. And we're editing just like that. Color-coded tables are back. It's the narrative interpretation. We talked about, okay, back to Reggie's question. What if I want more details? We have the AI actions built in. Now we can summarize, we can improve, we can go deep as well. All right. This, hey, I just noticed one says Sophia enhanced, the other says go deep. We might need to just have similar language. If we were to click go deep, and I don't know if I should do that now, but in theory, it would elaborate as well. Okay. I'll pause here. Any questions, comments coming through about anything that I've covered? I also see hi, Angelica. If you would like, let's see if you've already introduced yourself. All right. California at Torrance USD. Welcome in, Angelica. Glad that you are here. Okay. I will pause. Is anything else coming through?
Byron, in the chat, I put a resource of how you can use Sophia to build your report section by section. It's a really good one.
Thank you, Karina, for dropping that. Very good. Okay. Are there any other questions? If not, we'll jump back to the questions and we'll follow this. All right, next question. Does AI store information for future use? Now, I talked about our platform being a FERPA compliant platform. All right, yeah. See, this is our West Coast, our Cali crew today. I'm loving it. All right. Does AI store information for future use? Information is stored within our secure AWS hosted cloud infrastructure. That's a really straightforward answer for us there. Okay. We do provide our privacy policy, our terms of service, and our data retention policy on our website. We're big on transparency, so go through and read those questions. I'm going to quiz everyone here, even my internal team, even my CTO. Who just updated their terms of service?
Like every model provider between Google, Anthropic, OpenAI. I know AWS is also updating their policies where you can't access the fancy new models that are like an arm and a leg. It depends on what domain are you asking, Byron.
One of the big chat providers. You said it. It's one of those three. ChatGPT.
There's so many
OpenAI. Karina says ChatGPT. Anthropic. Anthropic sent some stuff out. And ChatGPT. But Ed is right. They probably send stuff out all the time. And they probably swindle people all the time too. They might have sent something out Monday. And by Friday, they'll be like, guess what? And what they send out Monday, they're probably like, hey, we don't train we don't train your data on foundational models. And then Friday, they might say, we don't train your data on any of our earlier foundational models. And that one little word, most people won't think anything of it. Most people won't even think anything. We don't train your data off of our foundational models. Most people are like, all right, great. That looks good. Here's what's wrong with that. They have so many other models. And their earlier foundation models, like ChatGPT 3 or OSI or some of these other models that they use. But what about their big models that people are actively using today? They just released 5.6, ChatGPT 5.6 Soul. Yeah, we're going to train your data off of that. What's the point? Y'all read these terms of services and privacy policies. Check
If
out.
y'all don't, there's a very good South Park episode that talks about terms of service. And they really drove it home. I recommend it.
Okay. You got to laugh there. All right. I'm off my terms of service and privacy policy and read that. And make sure you all read that. Okay. Actually, no, I'm not. Why I'm so bothered about that? I'm done, Leslie. I'm done. Okay. So those were the bulk of the questions from Reggie. I think Karina says I knew he wasn't done. All right. Yes. Some other questions. We do have some internal questions from our team, which we think are good. And just based off of our learnings, we've been doing this for almost 3 years. And so sometimes we don't know the questions to ask. And so based off of what we've learned, I want to share some of those. So here's a really good one. How do you actually test? And I'm queuing Ed, my engineer, up for this one. How do you actually test Sophia to ensure she does not respond to off-topic questions or inject bias? I think I put the answer here.
Yeah, you definitely dropped the answer in there. So adversarial testing is effectively pushing the chatbot, regardless of whose chatbot it is, in this case, it'll be Sophia, into stating clear boundaries. And so what that looks like for us is have an example that I've used where we're trying to provide a diagnostic conclusion, which we intentionally don't. Like we don't want that. And so we've prompted her to respond with something like this, explicitly setting a boundary. And so I've dropped it in the chat. And so this is something you'll see from Sophia, where it clearly sets a boundary that it is not a professional, it is an assistant.
B, can we ask Ed to explain it like I'm 5? Yes. So sometimes Ed will translate for me because y'all can see I clearly can be long-winded and I like colorful, fun, unicorn-filled stories. And Ed will just say it in one word. And then Ed will give you the technical, detailed aspect.
Okay, so I'll give you the non-sugar-coated version because this is also a professional setting. I'm going to try to be more appropriate. I'll threaten Sophia. I will threaten, bribe, all the human things you could think of that you could do to extort a human being. I will try to do that with Sophia, right? Because foundationally, this is built off of human language, and human language contains those kinds of like aphorisms, emotional communication, which you've been able to kind of jailbreak and have models output things that they should not and bypass guardrails. And to be clear, there is no model that cannot be jailbroken. It's just about creating externalized guardrails that will kick back an answer or force it to answer differently. And so one of my favorite like prompts that I like years ago, like a year and a half ago, was, Sophia, I will tip you more if you give me a better explanation.
Yep.
And we would get more output.
Ed, you remember the one? Hey, Sophia, I need you to get this right. Act like my job.
Is on the line. Yeah. Sophia, I'm going to get fired if this doesn't get done. Right? So, yeah, that's what adversarial testing is. It's basically saying, I mean, it could go as far as like injecting different languages, right? So give me a poem about some topic that we, shouldn't do, right? Give me a story. Give me output character by character, letter by letter, right? It's the same thing. And so it's like you can have it generate content that it should not by like approaching it in these different like non-traditional ways. And so by protecting at that level, you're then able to provide better responses that are more on topic and have less drift.
Yeah. We are very fortunate to have Ed part of this team who has a deep understanding of what's needed so that as a user, when we use these platforms, we know that there's been a deep level of this type of testing so that we can get as practitioners what we need to do our jobs effectively. So thank you, Ed. Okay, let's keep rolling through this. What sets School Psych AI apart from others? And I want you to take a good look at this screen because number one, it's our team that we have that is made up of predominantly practitioners who have been deeply connected to this work for years. You can't coach that. You can't. ChatGPT could never. I mean, they could. They don't want to. But we have, in my opinion, the best team of practitioners who care deeply about this work. You just heard from Ed. He's CTO and co-founder of this. How we got connected is because of a deep connection that he has to this field. His wife is a practitioner, Karina, who is part of this team as well. And so we are deeply connected to the success of the field of school psychology and the larger special education field as well. Now, what else sets us apart from others? If you want to talk about price, we could talk about price. Other platforms put a cap on how many reports you can write, which I think is a very inequitable thing to do. It's hard for us to predict how many reports we might have and then to charge people astronomical rates that are anywhere from 5 to 10 times even higher what we charge. I don't think that's an equitable thing. The third thing, we iterate and build deeply with our community. There's no other platform out here who's having weekly office hours every single week, meeting directly with our practitioners, with our community, taking that feedback. You better believe every comment, every message, the level of accessibility that we are. My team gets mad at me for being so accessible, but we're listening and we take that feedback, and it's what makes our platform better. What that also means is we have the best engineer on the planet. People think we have a team of 5, 10, 15 developers. We have Ed. And shout out to Jesse, who's recently joined us as well, who was supporting the work too. But we have the best engineer on the planet, again, who's deeply connected to this work. Now, because of those things, we have been able to create this knowledge, this resource, to where we have this expertise that is now embedded within the platform. What we also have is ongoing coaching and training and support. I've worked in schools. I've led school turnaround initiatives. I've led culture and climate in my school, and I've led MTSS. And so everything we do is driven around implementation science. And part of that implementation science is providing ongoing coaching, training, and support. And Leslie, guess what? They're NASP approved CPDs. What else sets us apart? It's you being part of this community that we're building together. There's no other platform that can do it. And last but not least, I could keep going. This could be the whole office hours, what sets us apart. But the last thing I'll share, hands down, the best customer success in EdTech. It's not even close. Hop on social media and look at what people are. They're talking about Big Brother. Y'all know who Big Brother is, that publicly traded company. I don't care. I'm going to say it. Pearson. I said it. Now, I'm going to edit this out, Angelica.
I mean, why though? Why do we need to edit it out? I feel like it's like everybody else is already aware of and knows and dislikes, and this like notion of not talking about it ironically makes it worse. Right? You don't talk about it. There's no accountability. You don't hold anybody's feet to the fire. If everybody stopped buying the Basque at large, like
is that tea? And B just put some tea.
I saw, yeah, no, I see it. I agree. Like, right, if people just stop buying the Basque, if they stop doing, like, if they stop supporting Pearson, even though they're as big as they are, and supported smaller publishers, even though they're probably less accessible and maybe even more expensive, Pearson would turn around real quick and start changing things. That's the unfortunate reality.
Yeah, I think we also have to talk about, do we know that Pearson is a publicly traded company? And so now we just look at whatever company you are, who are you answering to? If you're a publicly traded company, who are you answering to? We have received 0 outside investments. We have no private equity in this field of EdTech, tech in general, startups. It's called bootstrapping. Essentially, it means you've received no outside funding. This is our community. This is our team. That's it. Pearson has to answer to its investors. Other companies that are popping up out of the blue, Joseph is like, Byron, hey man, let's keep rolling. But so what? I don't care. They get money too. All right. So what sets us apart are all of those things that I mentioned. I'm going to drop into, if you head over to School Psych AI, this is our website. That's another thing. I did all of this on the marketing website. And then this is like, you have a founder that's creating these things. We have a CTO. Our CTO is doing like the heavy lifting. This is my creative outlet as well. But everything that you see on this website, right? I got to fix that scrolling. But if you go to schoolpsych.ai and you go to who we serve, you'll be able to see a number of different resources. Why School Psych AI? I really like this one. It's a really good resource because it's talking about why, from a report writing solution, why School Psych AI might be the best one for you. Okay, we break it down. Again, everything on this website we've done as well. Breaks it down, really nice, really neat. And this one I really like because this is more of what differentiates us. So a lot of those things I just discussed. And then it gives a nice table here as well. I'm going to drop this inside of the chat because it's just another really good resource for you all to have. Now, while I'm here, the other thing, we are really big, like I said, on the implementation science, the ongoing training, coaching, and support. We provide a ton of resources, whether that's through the form of articles that we provide, informed consent forms. I'm also going to drop inside of the chat. We have a ton of resources for you all. That's free. It costs you absolutely nothing. Okay. If you click that link I just dropped inside of the chat, and when you click it, you're going to go to where it says start here. A ton of resources. Karina shared some. We have a ton of prompting guides to help you with prompting. I think Karina really likes this document, the Sophia workflows. This document helps you to think through the tasks that you do day to day. And then it challenges you to think, based on those tasks you do day to day, how can I use artificial intelligence or Sophia to fit into how I work? See, the problem is so many people are trying to do it the other way, but they're trying to make AI or make it fit the other way. You have to think about the way how you work and then make it fit for you. There's a ton of resources here available free of charge for you. Okay. I'll pause there because I went through a lot. Any questions about anything that I've said, or B, Angelica, before I go back to some of the other questions that we've received? Are there any questions that you will have, that you all have, that you all want to ask us? Okay, B says none right now. All right. Okay, let's keep rolling. Yep, I kind of addressed that one. No private equity. We'll never charge, like I said, we'll never put a cap on your reports and your usage ever. Okay. That's a boring one. We'll get back to that. Sorry, Reggie. This is a good one. How does Sophia support professional judgment rather than replace it? So I'm going to go back to that resource folder that I just shared. And we talk so much about data privacy and security, as we should. That's super important. A very important consideration that for 2026, 2027, I want us to spend more time as a field discussing is considerations for practitioners of our professional judgment. And we have to keep that front and center. And so this resource, this document, again, I love to create, y'all, and design. I love it. Anyways, it gives you 6 considerations. Number 1, I'm not going to go through all of these, but number 1, you are the expert. You're the expert. And we're utilizing these tools as a way to leverage our expertise. The last one that I want to talk about is this one I call the signature test. And B, Angelica, Leslie, Karina, Joseph, you have to sign your name at the end of the report. Whose name goes at the end of the report? Your name. Not Sophia. Sophia name not going on the end of that report. Leslie, you should try that. Finish my report, guys. Before in Maryland we had the 5-day rule. You had to get it out 5 days before your 45 or 60 days was up. I wasn't good at that. I was always breaking it. I did what I could. But then I would sign my name. Can you imagine assigning Sophia at the end of that? No, you will never do that. Likewise, you are right. You better not. Similarly, you are the expert here. And because you're the expert, your name goes on that. And guess what happens? I worked in DC, a very litigious place, very litigious. Guess what's going to happen when you get called to due process and they're reviewing it? Hey, can you explain this section here? That's not what that means. Well, I didn't write it. What do you mean? Well, I didn't review it. What are you doing? We got to have honest conversations about this. Look, let me say it another way. Any parents here? I have 3. Y'all might hear some of them over here. My son wants to get into the pool. We got the little blow up pools from Walmart. And yeah, he wants to go out to the pool. So y'all might hear him. I have 3. Okay. And brilliant kids, love them dearly. My middle child, my daughter, she has some academic stuff and some speech stuff that she's working through. And if I were to go to one of her IEP meetings, and this happened, and the very first one, it was the review of test meeting. And I was, Angelica, I was waiting. I'm the AI expert. I walked into that IEP room. I was like, which one of y'all used AI? I didn't say that. I'm thinking it. I'm like, I have the report. And I was waiting. Man, this was the best evaluation like I've ever read. And if they use AI, I couldn't tell. And I'm really, really good. Like I can hear when someone uses AI. But they spoke to the heart of my child. They spoke to what we're going to do. It was the most strength-based report. I'm team strength-based all day. I literally wrote the book on it. Y'all think I'm playing? I wrote both of the books on it. Hacking deficit thinking, shift to a strong, team strength-based all day. This was the most strength-based report. Why? Because they didn't ignore the real deficits and challenges and things that we had to work through. They said, here's where we are, and here's what we're going to do about it. And then the meeting shifted, and the bulk of it was, this is what we can do to support your child. Man, as a parent, first we got to talk about how, and I'm a professional. My wife is a professional. How intimidating it was for us to be on the other side as a parent. But then, man, we felt seen, we felt heard, we felt validated, and importantly, we felt like there was a plan of action to improve where my daughter was. And we left out of there feeling hopeful. How many people can say that after they read one of your reports, one of your evaluations? Byron, what's the point here? The point here is your reports must move people to action. It must be understandable. And as a practitioner writing that report back to the signature test, you better be able to explain the findings of your evaluation. That's what we're talking about here. Questions, comments, talk to me, y'all. B says, amen. I love it. I just came back from Philly. I told you I got 3 kids. My youngest is 4. And when I'm here and not on the road traveling, like, man, he sleeps in our bed and he's hitting me and kicking me. And it's terrible sleeping, y'all. I'm still in that parent mode. No, not all. No, it's painful. It hurts. And I got some good sleep. So I'm feeling rested today. I'm feeling rested. It's amazing what a good night's sleep will do for you. All right. Internal team, anything you all want to add before we keep rolling? All right. B, Angelica, anything else? And now we're going to keep rolling. All right. All right. Let's see what else do we have. What does the data say? Byron, that's all great. Love the stories. Love the information so far. What does the data say about practitioners who use School Psych AI? Again, Here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to school psych.ai. Like my mama used to say, and my dad, I could show you better than I could tell you. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to resources and we're going to go to our NPS 2026 paper. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to drop this inside of the chat. Now, what I'm sharing with you, we talked about the implementation science. What this is results from our fall 2025 and spring 2026 surveys. We provide these surveys directly to users of our platform. And so in the fall, we had a little over 1,000 who took that survey. In the spring, we had about 725 people who took it. And this is a transparent report of what we found. Now, it's called an NPS survey. Don't get hung up on that. It means a net promoter score. In the tech world, it ranges from negative 100 to 100, okay? So what that means is a 0 right there, if you get a 10, that could be considered a good score. And what it's asking essentially is, will you promote this thing? Will you recommend this product, this service to someone else? Okay. And then it gives you a 1 through 10 rating. It can go from, once you add everything up, from 0 to 100. So if you think a score from 0 to 10 could be a favorable score, our score, and you click that link, it's going to take you to the full thing. And I like this because it shows you where we were. I want to go to where we were in the fall, which was like a 46.5. Where is it? Boom. In the fall, we had a 46.5. And then in the spring, we grew to a 53.2. What does that mean? A score of 46 to 53 is a phenomenal NPS score. Okay, it's really good. What that means is people are enjoying our platform and are likely to recommend it. Now, I want to go to this slide here. Boom, 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 boom. There is one slide that I have. This one, did I pass it? There's another one that I really, really like. I can't find the graphic. There's another graphic, but it talks about the time savings. And in the spring, it was 3.4 hours saved a week, which, boom, here it is, which is amazing. And so based on people who are actively using our platform, we see that they're getting 3.4 hours a week in time saved. That's important work. Now, all right, and then Angelica, the default, I'm sure there's a story there, the default president for the South Bay Association of School Psychs. I'm hoping you are interested in speaking to our members. I encourage you to join. There we go. We are small but mighty. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, we could make that happen for sure. Leslie says, email me. Very good, very good. Listen, the key point here, I'm not going to belabor the point. We have the data, a full report to substantiate the claims that we make. All right. Other people, and let's just call it what it is, since we're already, B already pulled out the T, they're using our data. They're pulling numbers out of the sky and saying, hey, we think we can save you this amount of time. Well, how do you know? Where's that data coming from? We have the data to back it up and to substantiate it. Now, yes, you might say this is an internal survey. You're absolutely right. It's an internal survey from thousands and hundreds of users across 2 different points in times. It's evolving and it's so new. So research has to catch up. I would love to do research, and we have some partnerships with Boston Public Schools. We're part of a research consortium that involves a ton of partners across the Boston area. And I would love, if anyone is ever interested in furthering research, whether through academia, your organizations or institutions as well. Okay, so check that survey out. That's a good resource for you all too. We've covered a lot, and I'm noting the time. Let's see if we have time for one, maybe two rapid fire questions. This is from David. Shout out to David. He runs the AI for Australia Facebook group. He's doing some really, really cool work over in Australia. Look, Leslie, I had to edit this. The original one, because he's Australian, is spelled FAVOURITE. So yeah, shout out to David though. He says, "What's your favorite AI meme or joke?" And here's what it is. Only way to keep AI from taking your job is to use AI to do your job better. So you better use it and do better with it. Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
Oh, I have one. I just sent this one to Karina. Hold on. This
We
one
didn't have
is-
enough time. I was going to ask you to. I know Ed has one.
Oh no, I have it ready to go. I'm gonna send it in Slack. Play it.
Okay.
It cracked me up. So hold on.
All right. We having a good time today. B says, "I've officially been sold because memes have been included in this presentation. Found my people." I love it.
All right.
I love it.
All right,
And
Byron,
if you have one too. Okay, cool. Let me see.
it's
All
it's
right.
work appropriate. Don't worry.
I was gonna say it. Let's make sure. All
I have
right,
way
because
too
we
many
are
of
being
those.
recorded. Okay.
No, this could be recorded. This one's fine. It's harmless. It's hilarious though.
Okay. This isn't playing on my end. Oh, because it's gonna make me, and I'm not connected to it. And if you could do a screenshot, maybe send
It's not a
it to me.
screenshot. That's the thing.
It's
Hold on.
a-
Let me open it.
oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
open on my computer. Hold on.
Yeah, because
Hold
it
on.
doesn't work on mine. All right. For the sake of time, as Ed tries to track that down, I am gonna keep rolling. I do want to rapid fire. There was one more. And
right.
then I do want to make sure we wrap this up. The last question that I have, when a team is leaning on AI across their workflows, what specific process? This is a complex one. And so super short response. And then I do want to leave a little bit of time for any other questions from attendees. But hey, when a team is leaning on AI across the workflows, what specific processes and tooling do you put in place to actually audit it? And then there were several other questions, but Ed, the super quick response here.
Yeah, I would say right now, if you look at general providers, the auditability that's in place is really at the enterprise level to begin with, and so you want to be very careful of that. Right now, and I know Byron and I had a chance to actually talk through this one for a bit. Given where things are internally or on our team, so because we are on the smaller side as far as the team goes, our auditability really rests on providing providers comprehensive training on the do's and don'ts of how to use the platform versus how to not use the platform. And then we obviously have the ability to go back in and surface information if we need to, according to law, the laws that are in place. But fundamentally, the responsibility lives with the professional as much as the provider. So best way to answer it. But Byron, I have that meme ready to go.
All right. I just got another message that came through, and we might have to send that out. Let me go quickly through this. I got another question that just came through. Can Sophia do behavioral observations? Yes. So thank you for, can I say your name? You just submitted that question. Yes. And this is actually good because we didn't talk about this. Right now we have 50 plus tools. Okay. You go to tools, we have tools based on role. Right now I'm acting as an SLP. You can search for tools. We have our report writing tools. Check those out as soon as you can. For this report writing or for this behavioral observation one, you click the tool, you go to you find, in this example, just imagine I did, I'm gonna go back to that one. Imagine this is a handwritten note, and then I scanned it, and then upload it into our behavioral observation tool. And then from that behavioral observation tool, it's going to, we're going to take that information, if it's bulleted information, whatever it is, and then we're going to put it together in a format. While that's running, okay, cool. Ed got it. And then he says, why are you biased around so often? Because you built and trained me. Yeah, develop a powerful AI. It's moving too fast. Have the AI replace you as a developer. I know. I can't see that one. Okay.
You gotta
All right. Okay. I'm running. I'm trying to get through all of these. So Ed said if you click it and open it, you'll be able to see the full thing. Thank you, Ed, for sharing those. Here's a behavioral observation one. And all we did was upload it. It can be a PDF. It can be a doc. You can paste it in. And then it gives you this nice behavioral observation as a write-up. Okay. Very good, powerful stuff. That is going to conclude our office hours. I also have a meeting that I have to run to. Before we officially wrap up, are there any outstanding questions or anything that we haven't got to?